in the first part of this test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk first of all about your hometown. Tell me about the town where you live.
Well, it's a scenic and peaceful little town located in a mountainous area in southern China.
And what do you like about your hometown?
I love the vibe there. It's pretty chilled and laid back. Whenever I feel stressed out from school, I would just get into the woods and find my inner peace again. It's definitely my healing retreat.
Okay, so now I'm going to go on and ask you some questions about sports, okay? Are you a fan of any sports teams?
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Cantonese team in CBA. It has won the championship for like 11 times and it has cultivated many talents for the national team. They didn't win the cup this year though, because they didn't stay in the zone. But I guess they will make a comeback next year.
What kind of sports do you like?
Honestly, I'm not really the sporty type. But if someone invites me to play badminton, I just don't say no because I enjoy playing badminton. It requires a lot of back and forth and you need to be quick on your feet. That's why it's so entertaining.
And how often do you play sports?
I must confess, although I used to play badminton weekly, I just don't get round to it nowadays. After working all day on my thesis, I prefer to slump down in front of the telly and binge watch some TV series. I guess I've become sort of a couch potato.
Do you watch sports matches on TV?
Yes, I do. However, I prefer watching sports games live because, you know, the lively energy of the crowd is so infectious. I can cheer my favorite team on and I can interact with other fans.
Okay, so now I'm going to move on to part 2. I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. I'd like you to describe a time when you forgot something important. So you have a minute to prepare.
I wouldn't describe myself as a forgetful person, but last year I forgot my computer charger. Yeah, I know, in the grand scheme of things, it is a major thing like forgetting your ID card, but losing battery is a total nightmare for someone who needs to use a computer desperately. I was traveling back to my hometown and I had left my packing to the last minute because I was snowed under with work at the time. So I was rushing to pack a couple of hours before I set off. My charger is always plugged in and I didn't think about it until several hours later when I arrived home and went to recharge my battery because it was on 1%. I went through all of my bags and then I realized how stupid I was. I forgot to bring it with me. None of the shops in town sold this kind of charger, so I couldn't get another one. I ordered it online, and it would take days to arrive, but I had promised my supervisor that I would send her an email about my paper, and I couldn't do it. I was panicking a lot and felt like having butterflies in my stomach during that time. Anyway, I've learned a big lesson since that day and I'm going to leave a spare charger in my suitcase forever.
Okay, can I take back the task card? Thank you very much. The pencil and paper.
Before we move on to the next part, let me stray off the test and tell you that these highlighted phrases are actually some idiomatic chunks that can raise your score in terms of lexical resources. So what exactly is a chunk and why do we need to use it?
Chunk, C-H-U-N-K 到底是什么呢？看一下屏幕上这9个字母，你会用什么方法去记住它们的排列顺序呢？其实我们可以把9个字母分成3组 VOA Voice of America FIR 飞儿乐队 WTF What the No It's actually Welcome to Facebook 那么像刚刚我们这样的分组呢，就是场话输入，就是把句子拆分成有益的模块来向大脑输入信息。因为大脑的短期记忆能力有限，通常只能记住4串东西。如果不通过 chunk 的话，刚刚字母就会占到9个内存，大脑很容易死机。 但是唱话之后只需要3个内存，瞬间就可以记住了。
Based on this, memorizing and using chunks can make things a lot easier in IELTS speaking. I mean, when you're preparing for the speaking test, instead of memorizing a whole paragraph, you can just memorize some chunks, especially some idiomatic ones, and try to connect them naturally. If you want more tips for English speaking, you can sign up for this pretty short course in Cheesepie. It teaches multiple skills like 辅元连读, 叠音, 诗报, 童话, which sound complicated, but they're actually common in English pronunciation. Plus, it also updates free listening materials every morning and evening, which can be used for shadowing.
Okay, so we've been talking about a time when you forgot something important. I'd like to go on now and ask you some questions related to that. Let's talk first of all about people forgetting. Why do people forget things?
I guess that has something to do with age. You know, as people age, they tend to forget things very easily. That is, they can't remember where they keep their car keys or wallet, or some even forget their appointment schedule. And then people lose track of things because they have so many things on their plate, but they have a limited attention span. So they may be absorbed in one activity, and then other things just slip from their memory.
And how can we avoid forgetting things?
Just keep a daily to-do list. Keep a small notepad where you can write down tasks that need to be done. If you're not a fan of writing notes by hand, then use a notepad on your cell phone, tablet, or computer to type in a short to-do list electronically. Plus, when we have so much going on, we can consider simplifying what to focus on. Many people take up responsibility that they don't really care about. If you clear those things from your life, you will have more space in your mind, and you can remember things that you actually value.
Let's talk a bit about technology now. Do you agree that technology actually helps us remember things better?
Certainly, yes. I believe stuff like a reminder application has become a reliable way to memorize or remember things like important dates or events, especially for those people who are simply forgetful. But that being said, I believe people these days have lost faith in themselves. I mean, they don't trust their memory to remember things. They allow themselves to be enslaved by these modern technologies, even in remembering simple things such as anniversaries or birthdays.
Okay, that's great. That's the end of the speaking test. Thank you very much.